Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to talk about something very important. Something I've been thinking about and something I've been noticing for a very long time. Something that has been happening on a societal level. Because as we know, narcissists and other toxic people's game is the same or very close to the same no matter the level of society or the type of relationships you are talking about. Because as I've said before, you can see the same evil dynamics play out in society that played out in your narcissistically abusive home of origin. Or the toxic narcissistically abusive relationships you found yourself in. You see, narcissists are great at convincing their prey that they have turned over a new leaf. And they have a plan to make things better than ever before. That what went wrong in your relationships before will never go wrong again. But when you ask them what the plan is exactly and how they plan on making all of these wonderful things to happen, majority of the time, they have super vague answers. Sometimes they might come up with something that sounds well thought out. But most times, there is no substance to what they have to say. My narcissist mother was a master at this. And instead of her working on whatever great thing she said she was working on for our family, she was either literally working on nothing, and she was just saying whatever she had to say to escape responsibility for our family being a mess. Or she was working on every way she could think of to make everyone miserable. In most cases I was the target of that. You see, one thing we've talked about for years in this narcissistic abuse space is being extremely careful with showing how happy you are regarding something in front of people like this. Hopefully while you are trying to escape. And the reason why is, if you are excited that you all of a sudden like your job, after years of working jobs you hate and that make you sick to go to, the narcissist in your life will do whatever it is they can to ruin your day and maybe even ruin your standing at your place of work. Or let's say you completed a wonderful house project and you are super excited and you feel like you are now somewhat handy at fixing things. At least on a small level. They might break this item in the house you just fixed. And possibly pretend it was an accident. And they might say, it wasn't even fixed right anyway. Why don't you just buy a new one? You see, narcissists become dangerous to you when you are happy. Because they will do whatever bad thing they have to do to you to make you feel bad. That's where they get their supply from. Because here's the thing. Narcissists can't feel genuinely happy. And what I mean by they can't feel real genuine happiness is because the things that make them feel good inside are from doing bad things to others and watching them suffer as a result of these bad things. Well, this brings me to society. Relationships are completely a mess these days and they seem to be built on superficial things that don't matter. There is no decency or loyalty in most relationships today. And though dishonest and disloyal people have always existed, it seems like those that write the script for how society is supposed to go inject as much evil and hate and narcissism into places where there should be happiness, love, and loyalty. So much so, narcissists and psychopaths can take their masks off in some instances and literally enjoy out in the open how fun it is for them to cause others pain and misery. And society applauds this behavior and pushes it as a norm. Because just like any narcissistically abusive relationship, it oftentimes starts off with fun times and hope of something promising. But as time goes on, the narcissist lets their mask slip here and they let their mask slip there. With makeup periods and fun times in between. But the true goal of the narcissist is to eventually shorten up the makeup and good time periods. To where there is none. To where it's just nothing but bad times. Most people that tell their stories about being in a relationship with such a toxic person, they will say the last few years were literally awful. Arguing for hours. Oftentimes in the middle of the night when they should have been getting a good night's sleep. I remember my ex-narcissist would wake me up at 3 in the morning to question me about a small speck of lint that was on her favorite chair. And she would accuse me of sitting in her chair without her knowledge and that somehow I must have damaged it. And now she was going to teach me a lesson and damage something that meant something to me. She would rip around our home, knocking over bookshelves and kicking furniture she deemed in her weird mind not to be hers and that was mine. She would throw brand new dishes I just bought for the home on the floor and tell me to clean it up. The issue for her was there was no problem, so she had to create some out of thin air. And towards the end of me escaping, she was creating several problems like this on a daily basis. Meaning, every day I woke up, I knew there were going to be bad events playing out. You might not know where, when, or how, but you knew something was going to go wrong. So it made it extremely hard to enjoy good moments. Or something one would consider good. Well, look at society. How many people are really having fun? Now, I don't say that to be a downer. I encourage people on this channel to go out and use your talents. There are some subscribers here that sit in with a band at local music halls and play their guitar and sing. Whatever it is you are good at and you like to do, you go out there and create positive moments in your life. But it appears those that write the script for society, when they see people getting along way too good, or things are going too much in a positive way, or people are having too much fun, they seem to very quickly sow division, chaos and misery. Take a look at relationships. You can't tell me how people are having relationships today isn't engineered to some degree or even to a large degree. You have extremely wealthy people telling average working people of what standards they need to set for what they will accept in a dating or marriage partner. You rarely hear anything about character or decency or God-fearing. You hear about money and stuff. Relationships have turned extremely transactional and has very little to do with who the person is. One thing we've talked about since the beginning of this channel is the narcissist lives their life like a movie script. And they don't care who is reading the lines, just as long as they are reading the lines exactly how they want them to be read. They don't care if it's you, or you, just as long as you are doing the scene as they wrote it. And this is what you are finding from these people that are on these big channels that give their relationship advice along with the big news platforms. The advice is 95% superficial and they sprinkle in a few normal things to make the message seem digestible. And then on top of it all, most people can't afford to go and do things that just 10 years ago or so they might have been able to afford to do with in regards to having a good time. And then to top it off, those that write the script of society push their feet down on the metaphoric gas pedals of how much a person is supposed to spend and do and have and be in order to be in their mind a viable human being. Yes, I know the cough messed up a lot of businesses. But people can't afford to just go out and do things anymore. And if you can't afford such a life, you are deemed by society to be a loser. And guess what? Most people gather around the few people that can afford to do certain things. And it becomes a big toxic fest of narcissism and psychopathy, which a great many of us are happy and thankful to stay away from. But it doesn't take away from the fact. It appears. Those that run society look for every opportunity to ruin any good or enjoyable times they can for the normal person that is just trying to live their life. Because just like the narcissist in your life, if you are excited you are actually dating someone that is treating you wonderfully and things are going in a great direction. The narcissists in your life will try to find a way to ruin it. And if they can't ruin such a relationship, the narcissists that write the societal script has so many levers and things the unaware person can trip on that can cause such a relationship to break up. And I believe on an even bigger scale this is why you see all of the chaos and pain across this earth. Because there are evil people that do enjoy watching people in poverty, in misery, and in pain. But knowing all of this, what should we all do? Do the best you can. Try to enjoy the talents and skills God has given to you to the best of your ability. And when you hit a setback, keep on going. Satan and his demons and narcissists want you to stop. Don't stop. Keep going and keep doing your best. But I just looked around and was noticing all of this right in front of me. And it's not to be a downer or anything. I was just looking around and saying to myself, what outlet does the average person have to have real enjoyable life moments? And then I looked at why that likely is. It's not because they are a loser, as society would call them. But it seems that every avenue that used to be easy or easier to have a normal life, a big roadblock it seems almost on purpose, has been put right in front of such people. Because remember, the narcissists want you to go to work and be miserable and constantly suffer, so they can feed on this suffering and misery. That's why they create the circumstances that they do. Again, I'm not trying to be a downer here. And actually I want to be the opposite. I want to encourage you to find happiness and joy in even the little things. And please know, God is with you. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.